It was disorienting at first, turning my head to move the camera for a third-person 3D platformer, but playing Lucky's Tale and watching its cute but generic protagonist bounce around in virtual reality soon felt natural. Maybe a little too natural, because once the novelty of playing in VR wore off, I saw it for what it really is. A very short, very conventional game, loaded with unnecessary repetition. Most of Lucky's Tale could have been an N64-era platformer. It's that same kind of straightforward double-jumping, ground-pounding platforming while avoiding simple enemies we've seen for decades, but easier and lacking interesting puzzles or secrets to find. The 14 levels would have only taken me about an hour and a half to complete, except every few levels, Lucky's Tale forces you to go back and replay the same levels over again in an alternate mode to progress. That's some blatantly repetitious padding. That said, the time trials mode is my favorite way to play since it makes things a little more challenging. What does VR add? Well, not a lot. Looking up at a vertical stretch of platforming in VR or physically moving my head to see around corners adds a little novelty to an otherwise familiar experience, but the only time I was really happy to have the Oculus on was in a very dark level where my head became the light source. Moving my face forward without moving Lucky at all helped me avoid enemies hidden in the dark, which is a cool concept and the most innovative VR aspect of Lucky's Tale. All the other camera movement could have been done just as well with a controller. I would have preferred it even because the camera sometimes auto-scrolls forward in an awkward way that occasionally made me feel dizzy. There is some charm to Lucky's Tale's simplicity though. It's not exciting, but it's finely polished. Old-fashioned 3D platforming is still fun, especially some of the boss battles, which require more precise jumping and dodging than any of the more slowly paced levels. It's just not remarkable, especially as a showcase for VR. For more on all things virtual reality, stick with IGN.